No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble.
Good morning. This door is open to you. I want to welcome, what a beautiful group you are inside this building today. And we take a moment to turn and to wave and to say hi to those that are joining us virtually from wherever you are. A special shout out today to the student that we're sponsoring in Africa. Blessing is joining us online all the way from around the globe. So we want to welcome the many that are coming in and entering into this with us today. I invite you to join in an opening prayer as we turn our awareness within. This week we look around and the trees are expressing the wisdom that lives within them that says, let go, let go, let go. Turn your brightest color, give it all you've got, and then let go. And let it fall to the ground where it does things that you may not see with your eye, but it returns into the source, into the earth. It becomes nourishment, and it goes into that place of dormant. And sometimes life feels like that. We don't see any activity or anything blooming. And yet we realize that life is still moving, evolving. And so we stand in this sacred space of autumn and allow it to be our teacher, our healer. Today that we celebrate in spirit and in truth. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. I invite you to stand as you're able, and Mary Kay Williams, come on up and join us. We're going to ask you to stand for love. I can't think of anything better to stand for, amen? Stand for love. Here we go. I will stand for love. I will stand for love. 'Cause I know I can be strong for love. Yes, I know I can be strong for love. I'm gonna stand for peace. I will stand for peace. I will stand for peace. 'Cause I know I can be strong for peace. Yes, I know I can be strong for peace. I'm going to bring it down here. And I will stand for you. Sing it out. We mean it. I will stand for you. 'Cause I know I can be strong for you. Yes, I know I can be strong for you. Stand for love. I will stand for love. I will stand for love. 'Cause I know I can be strong for love. Yes, I know. Yes, Yeah, gonna stand and be strong for love. Take this opportunity to turn and to welcome those around you with a handshake, an acknowledgement of acknowledging the presence within them. We take this moment to reach out to those of you that are joining us via our live stream. We want to thank you for being a part of the spiritual community. We want to thank you for perhaps drawing some support during these times that we share together. We appreciate you and thank you for being here. All right. Some of you may have been singing this song as a mantra, as a prayer, as a reminder. It goes like this. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh no, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. This love that I have, sing it out. The world didn't give it to me. Oh, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. Jason DeCristofaro. Wow, you sound beautiful. You may be seated. As many of you know, our music director, Sarah, had damages in her house when the storm happened, and her boyfriend, her partner, also had a stroke and is in Raleigh, and so Sarah has moved to Raleigh. And so we're not sure how long that may be, but we want her to be where she needs to be, right? And so we have had different individuals working with us, and I want you to know we're so honored today to have Jason DeCristofaro. And I don't think it'll be his last time. And this amazing unity band with Mary Kay. Would you show them your love today? We are so blessed to have each and every one of them. So this is the time in our service where we acknowledge our youth program, our Sunday school teachers, our from nursery age to teen age and all in between. We have beautiful classrooms. We have dedicated space for each and every one of these individual groups. We have dedicated teachers and assistants, and we are in the process of finding a few more assistants. And so if you'd like to volunteer once a month or periodically to assist a lead teacher and to enjoy the wisdom, how many of you know that some of the most brilliant things come out of these mouths right over here? Just the most profound, enlightening, pure spirit and pure intelligence. And so we take this opportunity to acknowledge these that are in the chapel with us today, and through them to extend this blessing to all children, to all youth. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you. Have a wonderful Sunday school experience this morning. Thank you so much for being here. We'd also like to acknowledge anyone that may be here for the first time. If you raise your hand, we have some welcoming team members that will get a packet of information to you. Unity folks, if you could lovingly point to where you saw a hand go up. They're kind of all over the place, so you may just have to hold it up for a moment. Or Unity folks, please point until we get to you. Ellen, there's some on the back row over there and then some over here. I always say on Sunday, if you want a little workout, you can be on this team that's like spot the hand that's up and run over with a little card. These cards have a red heart. If you wear that heart, it allows us to recognize you as someone that's here for the first time, and we can extend a special welcome to you. But what we know is that whether it's your first time here, whether you know this is a part of your spiritual practice, whether it's your first time finding us online, or whether you are choosing and finding spiritual upliftment from being a part of this regularly, we extend this blessing to each and every one that says, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you. It's a beautiful day. It's a special day. I want to give a shout out to our hospitality team that yesterday we had the honor, a highly publicized death of 4 in our community that lost their lives in the flood. The family had attended church. Children had been in Sunday school here, and the young Allison was the director of our sister property, Carolina Memorial Sanctuary. And so they had a service for friends and family, which spilled over to about 175 people. But I want you to know that those of you that have supported the Hurricane Fund, our hospitality team, Phoebe, Savannah, Deb, Linda, would you please stand? They worked together and created a meal of food for these people, all of them. That was just heartwarming and something truly beautiful. So I want to thank them, and anytime you have 4 cooks in the same kitchen, you know how that goes, and so they're all great cooks, and they are just remarkable in working together and creating something that is absolutely spectacular, so I want to thank you for that. I also want to acknowledge our flower team in this gift in particular today, which represents what we are celebrating tomorrow, Veterans Day. If you have served as a veteran in this country or of any country, we would ask you to stand so that we can acknowledge your service, serving a country, and we hope and pray. Yes, yes, yes. We hope and pray there's no dismantling or going backwards, and we give thanks for all who have served to bring our country to this place. We honor our veterans, all veterans, and we thank you for that. And so we're also going to be acknowledging this is the second Sunday of the month, and that is Hospitality Sunday. It means that we too get to go out on that beautiful patio and enjoy some goodies after the service. And so I hope you'll stay around, enjoy some coffee, tea, fellowship time together. Linda Jones comes forward because each second Sunday when we have this hospitality, it is in honor of one or two of our volunteer teams. Would you please welcome Linda Jones as she acknowledges our volunteer teams that we are spotlighting this month. Linda Jones.
Thank you. So this morning, I would like to honor our PowerPoint team. Jennifer, come on out here. Jennifer Hastings is the leader of this team, and she's actually working today, so she's coming out, and thank you for coming up. And getting out of the booth. And she's the team leader, and also I would like the other team members to please stand. Lisa Semler, Connie Reisman, come on, stand up, and Nancy Williams, Eric Barrett, he's in the back, Linda Rowe, Bobby Flowers Owenby, these are our substitutes that fill in, and Ellen Winner back there. Thank you. Okay. So this team's mission and purpose is to serve and to work in coordination with the video and the audio staff in the sound booth room. They arrive early before the service so that they can review the order of our service, and then they're able to advance the PowerPoint slides during the service, and we follow those slides right there on that screen. And I don't know what we would do without the songs and the words. And so the schedule is set up 3 months in advance with the volunteers serving one Sunday per month. Training and support is provided, but you know, if you use a TV remote, you qualify to learn more about how to serve on that team. It's not hard. So once again, let's show our appreciation for this team's dedication and their service. And now, it gives me great pleasure to honor our flower team that Darlene just spoke about earlier. Their team leader is Jerry Conley. If you'll stand up, Jerry. And then if your fellow team members would please stand, Sharon Dunphy, Betsy Watley, Barbara Holland, and Judy Wigner. Thank you. Yes, ladies. This team offers an element of beauty and inspiration with fresh flowers that raise our spirits during Sunday services and events. And each week, without fail, they are here, and they arrange these flowers with love, with prayer, and with intention. And that truly adds great beauty to our service. Members of this team enjoy donating and arranging the flowers, and they bring them on Fridays before the service on Sunday, and they place them right here on the podium. And each team member rotates. So presently, your turn to provide flowers is every 5 weeks. This team also joins in helping us to decorate for big events, such as homecoming and Easter and Christmas. So let us once again show our appreciation to them every single week. Thank you. Thank you. And if you're interested in, dedicating some of your time and your talent to either one of these teams, please go and see them. They have tables set up out there at our coffee and a way for you to sign up. Okay, thank you. So now let us prepare for our sacred reading. Service to others. It's not just about what we give. It's also about being in service to our souls. As Maya Angelou wisely said, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. In life, we encounter many challenges that are beyond our control. Yet, we always have the power to choose how to respond. We can choose to stay the course, to rise and to offer compassion. In this way, we are continually becoming the best version of ourselves and lifting others. So let us embrace our ability to serve, to rise above, and to stay the course of our soul's highest good.
I let it go. I release the thing I'm clinging to. I release what's holding me, and I'm falling into God's love. I let it be. There's nothing more for me to do, nothing more to say, and just falling into God's love. I feel Spirit holding me, and it's lifting me on high. I rise on the power I can't see, on the wings of love I fly. I fly, I let it go. I release the thing I'm clinging to. I release what's holding me, and I'm falling into God's love. I let it be. There's nothing more for me to do. There's nothing more to say, and I'm falling into God's love. I feel Spirit holding me, and it's lifting me on high. I rise on the power I can't see, on the wings of love I fly. Fly, fly.
ask why. I don't need to understand everything. Oh, and it's by faith I fly, and it's by grace I see, I see, I see, by grace I see. I feel a spirit holding me, and it's lifting me on high. I rise on the power I can't see. On the wings of love, I fly. I fly. I fly.
Oh, Mary Kay Williams, that was awesome. And Jason, Joel, Joey, Pete, Dave, and Robert, thank you so much for this, Anthony. Thank you so much for this amazing band. Show them your love. I rise. You know, these past few weeks have kept my prayer life in overtime. Anybody relate? I was thinking about this morning, it was just 7 weeks ago, September 29th, that we couldn't have service here because there was no electricity. There were trees all down in the parking lot, literally across the drive. There was no gas to be found, no gas stations open around here 7 weeks ago. Most of us couldn't get out of our driveway. If we did, we couldn't get far down the neighborhood because there were still giant trees everywhere or floodwaters everywhere. 7 weeks ago, and we were in our homes, sitting in the dark. And yet, in some ways, I was thinking about it yesterday, it seems like a lot longer than 7 weeks. And yet for many, it's still going on in a really, really big way. This whole area will take years. It's still going on. But there was something that happened during that time for me in particular, and I know for many of you, because when there's no light and there's no television and no radio and no phone, and you're not quite sure what's going on, but you know it's not good, you open your windows and you open your doors and you walk outside and you get to see your neighbors. I actually discovered we have children in our neighborhood. I had never, quite a few, I'd seen a few, but after 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, 2 weeks go by, there's no school, there's still not a lot of resources around. The kids are just, they're not worried about cars, so they're riding their little scooters and stuff, and I now know neighbors much better. I now know some that I didn't even know. We had in-depth conversations. We shared some of the strangest hodgepodge meals that we managed to come up with as things were beginning to spoil in the refrigerator and the freezer. And anybody that had a grill in sight, we just threw it on there. And I had been a vegan up until that time, but that hot dog was good. I'm not going to lie. I'm not lying. It's like, we'll get back to that one day, but you got to do what you got to do, you know? And I was thinking about all of that and how, to me, it was just so encouraging because in the midst of absolute disaster, We were working together. I mean, neighbors that I know, we are very different about a number of things, but that never came up once. We were just working together, and our conversations even got into that area of, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could just focus on what was most important and get along? And not only that, when word began to get out, I mean, consider this, the Cajun Army made their way here from Louisiana. We have Amish people from Pennsylvania who are here now helping. The cavalry from Canada came in. Churches, FEMA, our government really, really has supported us during this time. There have been help all over the place. And from mountain men to mystics, we've worked side by side and continue to do so. And I still this week sat down and cried. I have a stack, and I'll share many of these with you, but there have been so many churches and individuals, and we've been sending out handwritten cards to thank people that knew that our church, we have a fund where those funds are absolutely protected to go to these needs. We started doing things immediately, like on week 2, when we could finally get out a little bit and get some gas, and people began to call the church and say, my house was destroyed, my family and I are in the car, and we're sleeping at night in Walmart, and we're okay, but we need gas. We can't even get into our bank account to get any gas. And so we would meet them at the gas station and use those funds to literally fill up cars with gas. You all did that, and many of you did that. We were some of the first on the scene. I happened to find out when Party Hospital was starting to release people who still needed dialysis or they needed oxygen, but there's no electricity in their home. There's no dialysis places opened. Or people that were being released, but their home was no longer standing there, or their loved ones were no longer alive to take care of them. And so Party Hospital took the high school next door, and they brought in doctors and nurses from Rex Hospital in Raleigh, and they set up this makeshift hospital. And I happened to have by then found a little FM radio and was listening to iHeartRadio, trying to get a sense for what was happening. And I heard someone talk about this, and they said, and the place is filling up, and yesterday the only thing they had to eat were granola bars. Like, oh. And so we found a way. We took some of that money and we went to a store and we bought up everything we could and we took it in, and I wish you could have seen how happy they were. I felt like Santa Claus and Superwoman all in one. It was the best feeling ever. The best feeling ever. But I hadn't had a real shower or been able to fix my hair or have good light for a few days, so it was not pretty. A pretty super, it's like they understood. And very quickly, help began to come in. And so there have been so many things. There have been individuals in our community that have lost everything, that have been displaced, that we've been able to help and help others. And I'll tell you more about that, and we'll show you pictures as we go on. But during that time, it was so hard, and yet my heart was so full and so encouraged because of the love I was witnessing everywhere. And from strangers, people that sent money, the cards that we've sent out, there's people from probably every state almost that has sent us a card or some resources or money. And there's even individuals outside of this country who have done that, and they've sent it to our church for that fund. It's really incredible. And so for me personally, that has just filled my heart. And it's also kept my prayer life up, because it's tiring when you have to schlep your water and you don't have, the things that you normally do. You realize we take a lot of things for granted. And when I realize, okay, even though my stuff is okay, I don't have to go very far to find people still living in tents and to see the mudslides, and you realize, how can I be completely happy and at peace when there's just such hurt and need going on? And so, as I said, it's kept my prayer life up. And so then we go into this week. And this week has kept my prayer life in overtime, and probably you too. And I'm well aware that some people are relieved and there may be some rejoicing, and other people are devastated and in dismay And so there's a plethora of feelings in here, and we make space for all of that. And so in the midst of all of this, yesterday, one of my favorite writers, she's a singer, musician, but she's a writer. Her name is Carrie Newcomer. Carrie Newcomer just yesterday sat down and wrote this. I had an early GPS unit I called Jane. She had a BBC British accent. She sounded book savvy and tapped in. She sounded like she knew what was going on in the bigger picture and how it was intimately connected to the smaller roads. When I missed a turn or got turned around, she would politely call out from her little electronic box on the dashboard and say, recalculating, recalibrating. I appreciated her calm and generally genteel attitude. I mean, have you ever made so many mishaps, your GPS goes, recalculating, recalibrating, for God's sakes, can you not get it right? But she said, I appreciate her calm and generally genteel attitude. It always felt like encouragement where she was saying, honey, there's nothing to fear. These things are going to happen, and eventually you're going to get there just a little later than you planned. Recalculating, recalibrating. Honey, it's all right to pull out a paper map if you need to, because sometimes you just have to place your finger on the name of the very place you want to go. Sometimes you need to pull over the car, get out of the mindless stream of traffic, check on the side mirrors, and get ahead on true north, or due west, or back east, or basically south. It's all right to consider your options while your overworked engine hisses and ticks and cools a little bit. Recalculating, recalibrating. Jane only actually knew what she was programmed to know. But I appreciated her manner of dealing with the mistakes, the mishaps, the unexpected. This is when we pay attention. In those vulnerable minutes when we miss the exit, or we misjudge the timing, or we lose our bearings. This is truly unknown territory, but not without direction. There are still on-ramps and off-ramps and intersections and U-turns. There are still landmarks, even when there are no clear signs. There is still reliable inner guidance, and there is still a way. Recalculating, recalibrating. So how many of you are, say it with me, recalculating, recalibrating? In the midst of all of this, and again, especially for those of you right here that for the past 7 weeks, over 7 weeks now, have been dealing with so much loss, and then in light of everything else, there's a real feeling of recalculating and recalibrating. And I can't tell you the number of calls I've had this week, or the text, or people reaching out from all over saying, what do I do? What do I literally do? And I believe Ram Dass nailed it. Ram Dass said, whether this is the first day of the apocalypse or the first day of the golden age, the work remains the same: to love, to work for love, and to ease as much suffering as possible. Let me say that again. Whether this is the first day of the apocalypse or of the golden age, the work remains the same: to love, to work for love, and to ease as much suffering as possible. He kind of paraphrased what Jesus said when Jesus said, this is what it always comes down to: love. Love your neighbor, love your God as you love yourself. And so in the midst of this week, I also remembered a scripture, a story from my childhood. I grew up in a traditional Christian church, and I'm pretty well versed in the Bible. And I remembered a story of a prophet called Nehemiah. It's recorded in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 1 and verse 4. And I remembered this story because Nehemiah received news that his hometown of Jerusalem had been destroyed. And it says that he was devastated to find such news of such devastating loss. And the scripture says, when he heard these things, he sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed. Now, to me, while that is so important, is he didn't say, I heard and I cried, and then I got right up and said, okay, oh, hell, all is well. That just to go on, or okay, it is what it is. What I really appreciate is they took time to record that I sat down and wept. That's important. Do you realize that when your heart is broken, when you're overwhelmed with so many things going on in life, when those times come up for you, it's really important. I sat down and wept. And then goes on to say that for some days I mourned and fasted and prayed. And we typically hear the words fasted and we think about, oh, he didn't eat food. For some days I've prayed, I've mourned, I've fasted from social media. I've fasted from television. I've fasted from conversations with some things that I knew would not serve my soul any good. I have fasted from allowing my mind to get carried away and start making up stories because I don't know the future. I've spent time fasting and in prayer, and there's a lot of wisdom in that. And I know for many of you, because I've talked to many of you, that's the space that we're in. And so in these spaces, I go back to what Ram Dass says, whether it's the first day of the apocalypse or of the golden age, our work is the same: to love, to work for love, and to ease as much suffering as we can. And so we are recalculating and recalibrating. Part of recalibrating is taking that time to tend to your own hurt, your own confusion, your own whatever, so that we don't inadvertently wind up spilling it over on other people unintentionally. Amen. To do our best and to do everything that we can. So this week I encountered 3 things that to me were quite remarkable, that spoke to me, and I want to share those 3 things with you. The 3 things are a pocket gopher, a woman named Pinky, and our prayer wall. Hang in here together. It'll make sense before we get there. So Monday is my day off. And this past Monday was a beautiful day, and I took time to sit out on my deck, and I love to sit outside and pray and meditate, and I just sat and I enjoyed it. And then I opened my eyes and I looked around and I noticed that fall is here, and yet my summer flowers, I'm trying to act like they're going to live forever. And so on Monday I realized, okay, I got to clean out some of these flowers that are starting to die. And as I got off the deck and started to do that, I stepped in a little hole. And then I looked and I saw something I've been noticing increasing this summer, and it's a tunnel. A vole, a mole, a gopher, or something. So I cleaned up my little thing, and then just to show you how my brain works, I wipe my hands off, I sit down on my deck, I pick up my phone, and I turn to the prophet of Google. And I said, what is the difference between moles and voles and gophers? And how do you get rid of them? And then I kept going further down the mole hole and what good do they serve? And then I went even a little further, if they're spirit animals, what would they be? Because that's how I roll. Well, as it turns out, they are a spirit animal that many people believe they represent hidden power. growth, and bringing things into the light. I began to look at those annoying tunnels all over my yard and to say, hidden power, huh? Growth and bringing things into the light. Well, that only encouraged going further down the hole, and so I just kept looking a little bit more, and then this interesting story that had gopher in it, pocket gopher, popped up, a true story. In 1980, across the United States in Washington State, a popular tourist destination, Mount St. Helens, erupted that year. And it was the worst in modern history. It spewed lava and hot ash for over 9 hours. Ash landed over 300 miles away, and it circled the entire globe within 2 days. The lava destroyed about 250 acres. Would you show us the first slide here? The first and then the second slide, Jennifer. Just this incredible destruction. Well, that's 1980. 2 years later, you give me the next slide. 2 years later, some scientists were walking around and they spotted just a few teeny little Douglas fir trees trying to grow, but most of them weren't making it because they were in that hard lava pumice and they just weren't making it. But when the scientists were there, they noticed something else. They had thought all the wildlife and everything died, but guess what survived? Pocket gophers. Beneath the surface, they had managed to survive. And over the past 2 years, they'd been doing their little holy gopher thing and that's the holy gopher. And running all over the place and doing their stuff. And so give me the next slide there. So what the scientists said, well, we have these two things, let's try something. So they they marked off an area in the ground with one little sapling, and they put one gopher in there. And what happened within 24 hours, let me read it to you. It created enough beneficial bacteria and fungi, generating nutrients that the tiny Douglas fir needed, that the gopher became a transformative agent and the tree began to thrive. So they spread it out. Michael Allen, one of the researchers, said, these small creatures had an essential role to play in helping to restore the soil's biodiversity and the mountain's ecosystem, contributing to the regeneration of the entire mountain. Who would have predicted you could toss a pocket gopher in for a day and see the residual effects 40 years later? And so she showed you the next slide. Go back to that one, Jennifer, if you will. Today, it is a vibrant, completely restored, beautiful place. And the question was, could it have happened without the presence of those pocket gophers? And so when I read that story and I sat there on Monday, I thought, I want to be an agent of restoration. Now, on Monday, I was thinking about our area and everything's going on. But can you relate to that? Do you want to be an agent of restoration? And how it calls us to tap into our unseen powers. How it calls us to go below the surface and to go deep within and to connect with our true nature. And when you feel like, I don't even know what I think about God anymore, I don't know what I think about half my countrymen and women, I don't know what I think about any of these things, what I encourage you to do is to recognize what you do believe in. And for me, that is love. I believe that my soul and your soul is here for a purpose. I believe we have a choice and we can shine a light or not. We can be a presence of healing or not. We can be a presence of hope or not. And I am a presence of restoration, and you are too, my friends. And these are the things that we hold on to right now. We hold on to these things. So the wisdom of a pocket gopher. But if anybody knows how to get rid of moles and voles, please do let me know. So number 2, Pinky. I want to introduce you to a remarkable woman that lives just 10 miles from here. A few weeks after our electricity came back and, everything's still devastated, we know people are living in tents, I connected with the Seventh-day Adventist Church, one of their members, and they said, could you help us in the Spanish-speaking community? And I said, we'd be honored to. Just take me. Let me go see what we need. If you'll show the first slide, what they showed me is on the left is a picture of the storm, of a canoe. That canoe actually has a dog on it. But in that particular area, it was hit really hard. And that one is mild. There were people on top of their mobile homes that had to be rescued. And so as you can imagine, by the time the waters came through, it literally destroyed Pinky's home. And then to the right is just showing you that literally everything that was in there either floated away or was destroyed, and there it now lies. And so in meeting her, one thing struck me immediately. I took a Spanish-speaking person with me. Pilar went the first time. And I had the car loaded down with water supplies, with warm stuff, with everything we could think of, and a lot of the stuff that we had here. And when I showed up, they were appreciative. They took some things, and I kept trying to handle more water, and they said, no. And I looked, and they had some, but not a whole lot. And she spoke in Spanish, and Pilar said, they won't take more than they need right now. She said, there are other people in the area that need. Please share it with them. Now, it really struck me, because so often in times like this, remember the toilet paper syndrome? We tend to go crazy and buy up everything. That was not the mindset there. The mindset included, there are other needs around. Please help take care of them too. And I saw people very tired. The young man that was in that boat that saved so many people told me he had to wear those clothes for 2 days. For 2 days, he had nothing else to wear. It was all gone. Couldn't get anywhere. But when they told us the story, I marveled at their resilience. It was not and has never been a story of victimization. They have never once said, why in the world did this happen to us? All she said was, we're going to rebuild. We're going to rebuild. And I feel like they attracted us, they attracted resources, because by God, they're going to rebuild, and I'm happy to be a part of helping, and I know you are too. And so these next slides will show you the progress. There's another one of the tents that they're still living in. And then the next one, Sonny went with me. One of our members went early on. You could see the gutting of the mobile home. And then this is this week. Thanks to your donations, we were able to get a bunch of lumber and insulation and sheetrock siding and fans and different things. And if you could see her face, there is a smile that just covers that entire face. I texted early this morning to say, rain is coming. And I know some of the sheetrock was outside, so I texted early to say, rain is coming today. Can I bring some people over to get the sheetrock inside, or bring you some tarps to cover it? And she said, no, but I want you to come and see our progress. And so I can't wait to take those pictures and to show you that. But this week, Pinky has been an incredible inspiration for me, because you know what? They got hit, and they got hit hard, and quite frankly, they're now very afraid for other reasons as well. And they've been hit very hard, but she has not complained. She has been in there her very self, tearing down the sheetrock, pulling out the insulation. She is working, she is getting it done, and she is taking a week a day to go to beloved Asheville and volunteer. I mean, get that. Living in a tent in those conditions and going and spending a day cooking in a kitchen and volunteering. How many of you could use a little bit more of that in your life and in this world? I want Pinky's spirit. And so from a pocket gopher to Pinky, I want that spirit. She is not sitting, she's not waiting. And so may we have that spirit that just is persevering. And then the next final slide is showing you what really, it almost makes me cry. She showed me the huge, everything lost. But somehow, she had a picture of Mother Mary up high. And when the waters went through, even outside stuff completely floated away. They lost cars and everything. A picture of Mother Mary remained hanging. And she opened up her tent, and she allowed me the honor to see inside. And there it sits. And she said, "The mother never lets us down." She said, "My life has been a life of losses and of comebacks. But the great mother never lets us down." Pinky has been my minister this week. You hear what I'm saying? She is such a beautiful soul. And I hope she'll come here. I believe she will when it's all said and done. We're going to celebrate and love on Pinky. And she has promised us green spaghetti. I'm not sure what that's going to be like, but I'm going to love it. Would you come on up, Jason? And then the last slide. So we have a pocket gopher that reminds us that, you know, we are agents here. We are agents of restoration if we choose to be. Pinky reminds us that, you know, you just have to believe that come what may, come what goes, you get a choice. You can believe the universe is either working in your heart and in your life or not. And I know it is working in my heart and in my life. Call it the Sacred Mother, call it Abba, call it whatever you call it, but I believe it is that spirit within us. And then the last thing this week is every time I've come and gone to the church, have you noticed that prayer wall is coming to shape? Man. How blessed are we to have a local person that specializes in ancient walls, that just came back from Greece, that has such a spiritual, is being guided in every brick and every stone that she places, has invited us to bring our stones, to bring pieces and things that can be incorporated, and we'll soon be writing blessings and letters that will go in a capsule inside. But you see, that wall will be standing for many years, and 25, 50, 100 years from now, when they talk about the great flood in western North Carolina of 2024 and how it reshaped these mountains, and the great election of 2024, which we know not what that will do. But when they talk about these things, they'll also know there was this community called Unity that decided to build a prayer wall in the midst of that they wanted to remind us that whether it's the first day of the apocalypse or the first day of the golden age, there is one thing we're called to do, and that is to love. To keep our own heart tender. To work for love. We're not off the hook. But in our working, in our standing up, in our seeking justice, in our pushing forward for changes that we believe in, we do it from a place of what? Love. And to ease as much suffering as we can along the way. How many of you are with me? I feel you. I feel you. So we are opening up in sweet surrender.
Opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We're opening up in sweet
sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. Sing it one more time. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. Opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. There is a presence. There is a power. There is a spirit that enlivens all creation, from the pocket gopher to the pelican to the person. This presence and this power has within it that which grows us. It reveals its nature in every seed. For within the seed lies the potential to become a fuller expression. Within each of us lies the potential to become a more whole, fully expressed, spiritual human being. It gives us capacities that sometimes we perhaps don't yet know. It's the ability to stay the course, to realize that even though we work as part of a whole, and so in some ways we are in rhythm with the whole, and we are in a world of appearances, yet there is a dimension of our being that transcends all of that. It's the part of us that is not focused on just staying alive. It's the part of us that knows one thing, and that is, I'm here to express. I'm here to do what my soul has already put within me in the pattern of my being. I am here to express that. And so may we recommit and rededicate to do that which is ours to do at a soul level, and to do it in love and from a place of love. And like Pinky, to just keep moving forward and knowing that at some level we are held and guided even when we can't understand certain things. It's not an either or, it's a both and. We are surely held and guided. And just like Pinky, when we roll up our sleeves and lean into that, help and resources and support begins to show up for us. And so let us be those people. And let us be those people that are willing to be supported and helped in ways that we need to further us along our soul's becoming. And so we stand together in spirit, releasing and rising, holding this sacred space together. We are opening up in surrender in order to be more fully expressed. So we are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We're opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. I invite you to open your eyes and stand with us. We're going to pick it up a little here. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. Opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. Opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are waiting. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. And that includes you and you and you and you and you. Would you tell someone, yes, yes, yes. And thank you. You may be seated. I should have never called us the Church of the Loving Runny Mascara. It tends to keep manifesting. I want to thank you and just remind you that after the service, we're going to have hospitality out on the deck. I hope you'll come out and enjoy that. And there are many classes and things going on over the next few weeks, so please take an opportunity to look at that. Our prayer chaplains and our ushers are coming forward. Diane Swift is our prayer chaplain today, and she holds this box, which is normally up under the tapestry, to remind us that your prayers matter, and if you put those prayers in this box, we'll be praying for them. We also send them to Silent Unity. Our prayer chaplains are available to pray with you after service in the middle office. Michael and Ellen, our ushers today, remind us that it is we, through our tithes, our time, our talent, our offerings, that keep this going. So I want to thank you that are here and those of you that support us from wherever you are. We bless these gifts together by affirming that divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. I am now in perfect balance and flow with the universal tides of giving and receiving. Thank you, God, and so it is. Mary Kay.
There was a time in my life when I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. only here for God.
Wow. Doesn't that just make you so happy? That band is killing it today. Give them some love. That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to bring our time together in a close. Let there be peace on earth and let there be fellowship on the patio. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Brothers and sisters are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Yes, thank you. Join us.